So April TBR, guys. Orilium, it's Magical Readathon month. And this is my favorite readathon, hosted by G at Book Roast. And she basically has created this whole magical school. It's incredible. And you can really jump in at any time. She has a ton of documents on how you can join, whatever. Basically, you're going to school for a career. You have a major, a subject. I'm a Feywild cartographer. And you have so many classes you have to pass by reading certain prompts in the school year. So we're in the spring equinox. So we have our syllabus here. I've highlighted the classes I need to pass. And I want to go through the books that I've chosen for these prompts. I'm trying to keep them to like fantasy or books that have NetGalley things, whatever, just because I have goals this year. And so that's just kind of where we're at with here for this. So this syllabus, I'm getting at least one 24 and 24 book off my shelf. I'm going to film this in two parts. So one of the prompts you'll see. But the first class I need to pass is alchemy. And this is volume magnification. It has to have all capitals in the title of the book. So I am going to read Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, which is the second book right after Ninth House. I really liked Ninth House last month, so I figured this would be good to get to it as soon as possible. And then the next one is Animal Studies. Steal a book from another TBR. And so I'm doing this a little differently because a book that I've been meaning to get back to that I put on a TBR months ago and just haven't finished is Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This is my first Brandon Sanderson. I'm this far into it, and so I would just like to finish that this month. And so that will be how I'm stealing a book from a prior TBR. I'm trying to read more Brandon Sanderson. I'm kind of trying to read in order because I'm just the way that I am. One of my book clubs in real life has put The Way of Kings in our jar to read. And so I'm like, okay, I would like to at least get this read before I start anything else. I have Tess of the Emerald Sea on my 25 and 25 list as well. So, I'm just trying to read more Brandon Sanderson. And this is very much his first novel, but I am liking it. I just set it down because other things, right? The next subject is Demonology, which is a book with a missing person. This is a book you guys have seen it from month to month, and I still haven't gotten to it. So Local Women Missing by Mary Kabika. It should not be a hard book to read. I just need to pick it up, right? And then Elemental Studies is my next class, and this year's theme is Earth and Fruits. So this is a book that I've had on NetGalley for a long time. I also was sent the ARC and never read it. So as I try to read backlist NetGalley and get my percentage up, I'm going to read Everything's Fine by Cecilia Rabus. I've heard some really good things about this, but then it's been pretty quiet ever since, and so I figured this would be good. It's been comped to Queenie, which I really liked, and so I'm kind of excited about that. And then the next one is Shapeshifting, and this year they're looking at miniature dragons and shapeshifting into that. So there has to be a dragon in the title, on the cover, or in the story, and so I figured I would pick up When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I think the sequel's coming out soon, but I think the moons are actually dragons or the stars. I don't know. It sounds really interesting. I'm excited to read that. And then the final prompt is Inscription. And this is the hook. I don't know what that means, but it's a first sentence challenge. Try 3 and pick the best. So I'm going to do that here and then we'll talk. So these 3 books have been on my TBR cart for forever. One of my oldest book of the months is The Philosopher's Flight by Tom Miller. Half science, half magic, entirely fantastic. Because we're in a magical readathon, I want to pick magical books. So he's always wanted to fly like a girl is the blurb on the dust jacket. So that's the first one. The next book I'm considering is from Illumicrate. It's A Song of Silver Flame Like Night by Amelie Wen Chow. Don't know anything about that. And then the third one is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Had this forever. I know it's a beloved series. I'm finishing up Ruthless Vows as we're speaking. So, okay, let's do each. I'll read each sentence and then I'll decide which one I want to read. So A River Enchanted, the first sentence. It was safest to cross the ocean at night when the moon and stars shone on the water. All right. A Song of Silver Flame Like Night. The last kingdom had been brought to its knees, but the view was mighty fine from here. That's pretty good. That beats River Enchanted. All right. And then The Philosopher's Flight. A few weeks ago, my daughter, who is 9 years old and learning to fly, asked me the question I've been expecting for a long time. Why do so many people hate empirical philosophers? Okay, I think I'm going to do this. I'm gonna do A Song of Silver Flames Like Night. All right, so let's go over this TBR that we've got for Orilium. So we will be doing, for Alchemy, Hellbent. For Animal Studies, I'm doing Elantris. For Demonology, I'm doing A Book with a Missing Person, Local Women Missing. For Elemental Studies with Fruit on the cover, I'm doing Everything's Fine. For Inscription, it's the first sentence challenge, and I chose A Song of Silver Flame Like Night. And then finally, for Shapeshifting with Dragon in the title or in the book, When the Moon Hatched. So that's a pretty good TBR. Anybody else doing Orilium? Because it's the best. It's really worth figuring out and just participating. It's super fun. Anyways, until the next video, guys, it's essentially booked. I'm so glad you're here. Bye.